for the club, the Champions League, which was an historical moment for the club, but also for all of us. And then we said that we had the taste, now we know the feeling, and we need to go for more now, because.
All right, heading towards finding out what's happening in and around the world. Let's head off to Rise FM. Andy Lenkosi's on standby. Spelele Qhiliza, Guivuma FM. At the top of the hour, here's the news.
On 947, this is EWN.
Good evening, I'm Lerato Hufela. The E-Hailing Partners Council has called for an immediate halt of vehicle impoundments until the backlog of operating permit applications is addressed. Dozens of e-hailing operators marched to the Gauteng Transport Department offices today and handed over a long memorandum of demands detailing several complaints. The demonstrators have given Provincial Transport MEC Kidiboni Dialetlabela 7 days to respond. Ntokozo Khumalo was there.
Frustrated e-hailing operators have reiterated their calls for the National Land Transport Act to be implemented to safeguard the industry from unfair practice. During their march today, the drivers stressed that they are tired of working under unfavorable conditions that leave them vulnerable to bullying and violence. They say that their vehicles are impounded illegally and they are prohibited from operating in some areas in the province. Secretary General of E-Hailing Partner Council, Meliten Bamguni, says the implementation of the NLTA will help resolve many of their issues.
Stop enforcement of impoundments until operating license application process and backlog is cleared. Yes. We are already waiting for an application that happened 3 years.
The MEC who heard their demands has promised to work with them to solve their problems. Ndozo Khumalo, Eyewitness News, Johannesburg.
The state has requested the Joburg High Court to impose the maximum penalty for 25-year-old Pethe Sara Simiawo, who has pled guilty to the kidnapping, rape and murder of 6-year-old Amandle Samane. According to police, the little girl was snatched while playing outside in Orlando, Soweto last year. She was raped, strangled and her body hidden in Siamo's home. The court heard final arguments today and postponed sentencing to the 1st of September. Mongezi Gogo reports.
In aggravation of sentence, the state requested that Simiawo receive 5 years for kidnapping, life imprisonment for rape, life imprisonment for murder, and a further 5 years for contravening the Immigration Act. The defense did not oppose these submissions, maintaining only that Simiawo showed remorse by pleading guilty and cooperating with the court. Earlier, Amandle's mother, Ntombi Samane, delivered a victim impact statement. Visibly emotional, she spoke of the family's anguish and deep pain caused by the loss of a daughter. The judge said the court would consider both the mitigating and aggravating factors before sentencing.
The court has consulted its diary. The court is intending to impose sentence in this matter. Its earliest availability, Monday the 1st of September.
Simiawo remains behind bars until his next appearance. Mongezi Gogo, Eyewitness News.
On the weather front, a fine Wednesday in store for Gauteng tomorrow. Joburg dropping to an overnight low of 9 degrees, peaking at 26. Tshwane 9 and 27, Vereeniging 9 and 25. Lerato Hufela, Eyewitness News.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
#MSW. You may begin to feel anxious or excited.
Honest, deliberate, engaging, uncensored.
High dosage administration can cause adverse reactions.
And most importantly, independent in mind and execution.
This is a normal response. Are you ready?
Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Great show as always, Darop.
Thank you, Mr. Marawa. Good show as always.
Great show as always. Thanks.
Great show as always.
Great show as always, Rob. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the wonderful show, Robert. Thank you so much. It always gives me pleasure to speak to someone who's got such an insight.
I love the introduction.
You love the intro?
Thank you very much.
Hey.
Yes. Thank you. That's
good show as always.
Good evening, Rob, and your reliable, loyal MSW shareholders. Baba will always be behind this worldwide show called Marawa Sports Worldwide.
All right, so talking about things being back in a yes or no. People keep asking me, are the room dividers ever going to come back on radio?
Must I send you a text message of
No, it's a simple one. Give us hope, Joanna, or destroy our hope in a yes or no to all the rugby-loving listeners that are listening to the show right now. They've been asking me the question. Please ask Mr. Manana.
Yes.
Are the room dividers ever going to come back on radio? Yes or no, sir?
Yeah, happy to come back.
Oh, mistake by the keeper. It's punished and Tender Pirates take the early lead with the inform Tender Ndoro. Oh, what a horror mistake from Mr. Modiba.
I'm at Black Aces. I'm ending this. I'm gonna get more. I go to Pirates. I'm gonna get more when I go to Saudi. From Saudi, what do you expect? You expect to come down.
Yes, Ndoro now. Ndoro, goal! Left-footed goal from Tender Ndoro.
Every Saturday I was in Western Union. That's why you see, I even my wedding I didn't struggle of saying I need loans, and I just said.
This comes Chamaye Sugar. Hey, his style of fighting. Hey, this comes Chamaye so comes Wato. I am afraid to Sugar.
Hey, good evening, Robert Jody here. Listen, this weekend sport, ons was geskopskiet en donder. All areas was not a good sporting weekend, but thanks for a lovely show. Cheers.
Hey, Jody, thank you so much, man. Hey, wie skop waar?
Robert Marawa, live on 947. Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live. #MSW.
Well, I can tell you that Keshav Maharaj has been pulling its magic. I'll give you some of the latest news coming through with their match over Australia. Hansi, hey. Got a WhatsApp voice note here from Hansi, but I'll read it to you later on, though. But talking about rugby, on the flip side of life, though, the Springboks making changes, big changes. We'll get down to the heart of that matter, but also sad news. Marawa Sports Worldwide, proudly brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
Let's go! The moments you remember. The games you can't forget. Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets.
And on top of it all, I'll give you the latest about the room dividers. But that's why tonight we're going to start off by simply pausing. I mean, we pause to honor, to remember, to celebrate the life of a man whose name echoed through stadiums. I mean, his goals lifted crowds and whose journey touched hearts far beyond the pitch. Now, Tender Ndoro, yesterday the football world lost a warrior, a brother, a son of Africa. From Bulawayo to Johannesburg, I mean, from Orlando Pirates to Mpumalanga Black Aces, from Ajax Cape Town to Highlands Park. His boots alone carried a story of flair, of fight, and of a striker who feared no defender and actually lived for the roar of the fans. He wore the jersey with pride, and I think everybody that watched him play would attest to this. He lived the dream, and tonight his memory lives on in every fan who cheered his name and in every young boy who believed that they too could rise from the dusty streets to the bright lights. Gone too soon, many will say. I would agree too, but never forgotten. And that's why tonight we pay tribute to Tendai Fire Ndoro, a flame that burned very, very bright and whose light will forever remain in the game that we all love so much. May his soul rest in peace. We got a friend, a spokesperson for the family, somebody who is no stranger to the show. Endelbert Dinya is on the line, former Zimbabwean footballer, former Pirates man, and just a great man all round. Eddie, thank you so much for your time. Good evening.
Good evening, Marawa. How are you?
I'm good, but at the same time, I didn't sleep well last night because that's when the news broke that a very dear friend of yours is no more. How are you feeling? How are you taking the news? And once again, my condolences to you, to the family, and to everybody who associated with Tendai.
Thank you, Miss Mara, for having me on your show. Like you, I did not sleep. I still think that he is still going to wake up. We were at his apartment last night, and I still see him. I still see his face. I still see him. And at some point, I'm thinking that he's just gonna appear and say, "I'm still here, guys." But no, he's no more.
Tell me about that trip, though. You say you were at the apartment last night. Is that the same apartment that was reported his body was found?
Yes, that the very same apartment. So what happened was that there was someone that tried to reach him last week Saturday. So the phone was just ringing. He was not answering the phone. And then Sunday, the same person tried to call again in the morning. He did not pick up. And then tried again later on around 5 p.m. And then the phone was off now. And then that was on a Sunday. And then Monday morning, same thing, called, the phone is not available. So the person spoke to the security guard at the apartment to say, "I've been trying to locate Tendai, but I cannot get hold of him. Can you please go and check at his apartment to see if he's okay? Because that's unlike Tendai. He doesn't switch off his phone. He's not a person that would not answer his phone. He would definitely answer it." So they went, and then it was locked. And they said, "No, it's locked, and probably he's sleeping." So they asked to have the spare key for the security guards to have the spare key and open the door, because the same person was saying that there's something that is not right. If you can just please go and open and see if he's okay. So then the security guard decided to do that. They opened the door, and then they found him on the floor. And then they called on to the ambulance to come, and so they thought maybe he's still alive by then. And then when the ambulance came, then they checked him. They said, "No, he's gone."
Sure. And I mean, from what they saw, there was no sign of intrusion. There was no sign of force getting into the apartment. They would attribute, I guess, something of that nature to, passing from natural causes.
No, not at all. I mean, when we were at the scene yesterday, there was no sign of forced entry or, I don't want to now start saying things that might be right or might not be. But I mean, when you look at it, it's like he tried to. He was coming from the bathroom, so he wanted to make something to eat, and then I think maybe that's when he lost energy, and then I think he sat down, and then I think he tried to get up now to get the food to go to his bedroom, and then that's when he couldn't have power, and then he just I think he collapsed from there. So from what we heard when the ambulance came was that he did not die yesterday. I think he passed on, I think, Saturday or 2 days. Let me rather say 2 days before Monday.
So they were able to pick up, obviously medically, it is possible to know that a person has been dead for several days, which in the case, then if his body was found yesterday, they would attribute it to a possibility of a loss of life on Saturday.
Diabetic person. He had a sugar diabetes.
Correct. I mean, I'll play a clip from the last time that I had an interview with him, and he had talked about having regained his eyesight, which was a major thing because there was a stage in his life, and you would know this, Edobert, that he had almost seemingly lost his sight.
Yes, yeah, that's true. I think from there, I think he also went on to have a surgery, and then he was back to the normal Tendai that we know, the normal fire that we know. We're even exchanging, videos when he was in the gym, and so we thought that, he's back. So, but now with this, we're not exactly sure what triggered to the death. So we're waiting for the private investigator to finish their investigations, and then they'll be able to tell us exactly what happened.
When last did you see him, speak to him?
I last spoke to him last week, Tuesday. and he was in a juvenile mood. He was like, you would not think that something is going to happen later on. He was okay. He was happy. We were laughing, joking as usual.
When you track back such an important life, when you track back to somebody who was well loved simply because he was a very talented footballer here, Eddie, what are some of the memories that really come to mind? I mean, you were a footballer in the same way that he was a great footballer. There are memories that still reverberate in people's minds, and I've seen that on social media, people reliving his life as a brilliant football player. What comes to mind?
You know, the funny guy. Before the game, he would always say, "Listen, today, if I don't score, I will give you 2.5, 2,500 rand if I don't score. And if he doesn't score, then when I'm calling him, then I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give, like, dude, you said you're going to give it to me, so I want it." And then you will just laugh. You will laugh and say, "No, I promise you, next game, I will definitely score." And he was just a little striker, and his talks will always be, I want to be the best in South Africa, and when I finish in South Africa, I want to be the best in Africa. Of which, I mean, it shows that he's one of the best strikers that Zimbabwe has ever produced. And I think the memories will always live on. And yes, as much as he passed on, we're going to celebrate his career, what he did for South Africa and also for the Zimbabwe national team.
Did he ever doubt at some point that, these health challenges that he was going through would maybe one day put his life at a premature end? Did he ever talk in that manner, or was he just as jovial as we all know him to be and as positive as we all know him to be?
Yes, to be honest, Mr. Marawa, there was a time that he had said that, you know what, it's like I'm failing to beat this, and it's like it's gonna win. So we're always there to say, no, don't. I think you are the greater one. You will fight for it, and you're going to be good. So I think he needed people around him that were going to say positive things and always be with him. If he says he want to go and jog, or if he says he want to go to the gym, always have people that will go with him. And I think even the daughter that played so much part that whenever he goes to the gym, whenever he goes to the gym to take a jog, she was always with him.
Sure. You know what? We've been getting plenty of tributes. I'll play one for you.
Good afternoon, Robert. It's Kai here, Namlaz. Man, Robert Tendai, the guy has departed with a very broken heart. He happened to love a woman, and then when his fame faded, the woman decided to divorce him and take everything that he worked hard for. So he lost everything. He lost his 2 houses. He lost everything, man. So may his soul rest in peace. But I don't think he will rest because of what the woman that he loved so much did to him. But anyway, he was a great player. It's very sad. Thanks, Rob.
Thank you so much. I mean, sadness is there. I don't think you are, or I, are in any position here, Eddie, to judge the individuals and what happened in their private lives. We're just here to celebrate a life.
100%, Mr. Mara. That's what we are here to do. Yes, as much as it's gone, but we celebrate his life. We celebrate what he did for football and also even outside football.
I remember him when he approached me and talked about David Mkandawire. You remember that story?
Yes, I remember.
I mean, that story was one that really shook the nation because in a flash, he and I think a couple of other family members decided to head off to the East Rand where he had been spotted, David Mkandawire. And all to try and find him because they said that they suspected he might be wanting to commit suicide, etc., etc., etc. And lo and behold, we went to talk to people at OR Tambo International, and they said, yes, they'd spotted him yesterday. And we went up and down, and we got the cops involved. It was a big search for him. But all that story taught me was about the heart of a man who was interested in trying to save another person.
that's him. I think that was in him also. No matter what problem that you have, if you speak to him, if you wanted to understand Tendai, go with the problem or whatever that you're facing, speak to him. And he was just another guy, man, that would put people first before himself. So kind of guy, good guy, and it's I don't know, Mr. I'm still thinking, and as I said in the beginning, I'm still thinking that I'm still gonna see him. I'm still gonna talk to him, and
yeah, I'm sorry, my brother. I really am. I think it's a story that, even when I mentioned the David Mkandawiri scenario, I ask how many people were willing to step up for Ndoro when they knew that he was in need, when they knew that he needed an extra human being, just to tell him that all is well, just to tell him that life will be okay. I definitely don't think that there are as many as what he would have done for other people.
Yeah, that's true, Mr. Mara. That's very true.
Edible Dinia, strength to you, my brother. Strength to the family. Thank you so much for garnering the energy to chat to us right here on the show.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mara.
Thank you so much, man. You can tell the pain. You can tell how much it hurts. And as it should, because, the African continent has lost one of its bright stars. Mario Mofo, a former Black Aces boss who would have known him more than most, also just sent a tribute.
My name is Mario Mofu, chairman of Mpumalanga Black Aces Football Club, and I want to send a heartfelt message out to Tanda Ndoro's family. We were deeply saddened to hear of his passing, and Tanda was not only a brilliant footballer, but he was also a true gentleman, a special person on and off the pitch. Our thoughts and prayers are with you, and we pray that may God give you strength through this very difficult time. May Tanda's soul rest in peace.
Thank you so much there to Mario Morfo, former Black Aces boss, former Mpumalanga Aces boss, sending that tribute. And also Coach Augusto Palacio says that my condolences to the family and friends of the passing away of Ndoro. It was an honor to coach him, a great striker and a player in and out of the field, well dedicated and committed to achieve. It says, God continue blessing you. Rest in peace. Never ever forget your talent and your display.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live at the same time. #MSW.
Are you living with diabetes? Tired of painful fingerstick tests? Introducing a new continuous glucose monitoring system from Abbott Laboratories. The Freestyle Libre 2 system sends glucose readings straight to your compatible smartphone. With minute-by-minute glucose readings, optional glucose alarms, and excellent accuracy, the Freestyle Libre system is here to support you in the management of your diabetes. For more information and where to buy your Freestyle Libre 2 sensor, visit www.freestylelibre.za.com. Now available at your local pharmacy.
Feel the exhilarating power and performance. Feel the anticipation of a new adventure around every corner. Feel the breathtaking wonder of Mzansi's epic scenery. Feel the luxe vibes and the good times. Feel it all and more with the Ultimate Shelf V-Power VIP experience. Spend 750 rands 3 times this month and tap your V Plus rewards card for a chance to win one of 5 epic road trip and trek experiences for 2. T's and C's apply.
The briefcases, the offers, the suspense. Don't miss a single moment on Deal or No Deal. Weeknights at 6:30 only on SABC2. It's real people, real money. One bold move could change everything. Fortune favors the bold. Will you deal? Brought to you by Lotto Star.
Lotto Star is licensed by the Mpumalanga Economic Regulator. No under 18s. National Responsible Gambling Program. 0800 006 008. T's and C's apply. All games are fixed odds betting events.
Big banks weren't built for small businesses, so we built something better. We made Lula, South Africa's first business-only banking suite. We reimagined banking and funding to give your business more. Like a relationship banker who cares enough to remember your name and access to funding in as little as 24 hours. We're more than a bank. We're Lula. Visit lula.co.za and experience business class banking and funding today. Powered by Access Bank. T's and C's apply. Get amazing winter value this Big Deal Wednesday at Food Lovers Market. Buy 250-gram strawberry punnets for just 50 Rand and get 2 more 250-gram strawberry punnets absolutely free. And enjoy delicious Food Lovers gammon at only 79.99 per kilo. Now that's great value. Valid this Wednesday only at all inland Food Lovers Market stores. It's in the experience.
The Bucky Bonanza is in 2 years and I'm only getting my rewards in 4 years. My Bucky won't be ready.
4 years, bro?
Yeah.
I'm with MyWay and I will be getting my cash back in just 2 years.
What?
My Bucky will have all the accessories. No yada yada.
Introducing My Cashback from MyWay. Stay claim-free for just 2 years and get 10% of your premiums back to live your way. Go to myway.co.za and get a quote today. My Cashback is a feature on qualifying products paid after 2 claim-free years and all premiums paid. MyWay is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's and C's apply.
Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Tendai Ndoro, Tendai people in Zimbabwe are equally worried about what is going on. I mean, a role model, a superhero, David Mkandawiri. Where exactly is he?
Firstly, it's sad to see such a big name, the one who we grew up looking upon to him. No shelter, no food, just stranded, begging.
Is that where he spends his time? In the streets, regardless of what the weather conditions are, he's got no shelter.
Yeah, so like me and my wife, we planned to buy something, some clothes, and to go and give him. I remember when Tapua Kapini, he posted something on Twitter and Instagram saying the family, the mother wanted to organize money for passport and transport to come and pick him up. It's so touching. I never like dropped tears like I did when I saw the guy. Seeing him in that situation, it's very touching.
#NSW.
Good evening, Rob. Just want to convey my deepest condolences to the legend, Tendai Ndoro, affectionately known as Fire. I think we'll remember him with his clinical finishes and electrifying performances. And I think one of his memorable matches is the hat-trick that he scored against Golden Arrows in 27 minutes. I think it's something that we can remember him, something that we've never witnessed in our league in many years, but he managed to do that. May his soul rest in peace. Thank you so much.
Evening, Mr. Marawa. I just want to send my condolences to the Ndoro family. I mean, Tendai, to be honest with you, it was one of the prolific goal poachers. When we talk about one of the Zimbabwean players who came to the PSL and made an impact, we're talking about the likes of Ndoro. My memory of him is that goal he scored at Lucas Moripe Stadium. Then he went to the change room or wherever and he never came back. That was one hell of a celebration. That's how passionate the man was when he was scoring his goals.
Yeah, evening, Rob. I know tonight we are starting the show on a somber mood. The passing of Tendai, Fire Ndoro. May his soul rest in peace. And to the Ndoro family, friends, and extended family and former colleagues, and those who are around him daily, I send my sincere condolences to them. Kere moya wa Tendai o robala ka khotso. Mokotja wa sibe botoko mo komeni. Thank you, Rob, and good evening.
Thank you so much. You did plenty of those WhatsApp voice notes that are coming through, sending their messages of condolences, and also on the social media platforms. I'll get to those as well in a second. A life well lived and a superstar indeed. All right, still to come later on, though, as I said, we'll get one expert to talk to us about the changes that Coach Rassie Erasmus has put forward. Hey, changes have had to be made. Remember the disappointment from Saturday playing against the Australians. Something had to give, and we'll also give his reasons for making those changes as well. Let me remind you, we did say that the room dividers should begin today, but they've asked for a little bit more time. They want to be match fit. They want to fix whatever injuries that they do have so that they can pass the late fitness test. So stick around. I can tell you now that the revised date for that launch will be next week, Tuesday. So stick around. The room dividers should be live and on the air by then. And hopefully they will be fully match fit. talking about fitness, I always say that it always matters what you say on these voice notes, because a couple of questions were asked to us yesterday regarding some of the major innovations and giveaways that we do have in the exciting Betway Premiership. I didn't have answers to that because you need an insider, somebody who's part and parcel of the brains trust within the organization to step up and tell us how these things do work, because they are exciting. They just need maybe somebody to give a word or two. And that is why tonight, with football fever kind of reaching a whole new level, and when passion meets loyalty, and when that roar of the crowd becomes more than just noise, it becomes an opportunity of a lifetime. And we dive into a campaign that's a change in the game for fans across the entire Mzansi. It is called Sibonise and Win, a Betway and Premier Soccer League initiative that's putting real money into the hands of real supporters. So imagine this. I mean, you simply rock up to the stadium. That's all you have to do. Firstly, you rock up to the stadium, which is an important thing. And you're draped head to toe in your team's colors. The cameras pan across the crowd and suddenly, boom, you're the chosen one. 10,000 Rand goes into your pocket for just showing your love. And if you're an active Betway account holder, then what's in it for you? I can simply tell you that the prize doubles. It is a jaw-dropping 20,000 Rand. And that is why tonight, we've got the man behind the magic, who's going to be joining us to give us a breakdown of everything and what inspired this particular campaign. Mark Rolls, Betway's head of marketing, is on the line. Mark, thank you so much for your time. Good evening.
Good evening, Robert. Thanks so much for having me on the show. And can I just start by also handing over my condolences to the Ndoro family. Unbelievable how passionate fans are about our heroes and the legends of our game. So I suppose that leads on to our campaign, but just wanted to start with condolences from myself and the Betway family.
Yeah, Mark, I think a giant of a football player, and those words will echo. And the family, we need to support them in every way possible, because every football player, every sports person in South Africa plays such a major role in our lives that I think those condolences well received. Highly, highly appreciated. You've also shaken up the industry now this season, haven't you, Mark? Let's start with the bigger picture. I mean, the vision behind launching Sibonise and Win, the campaign with the Premier Soccer League?
Yes, Robert, the vision, I suppose, was a lot of learning from our first year, where our tagline was Lisekazini Forever, which was so well received by the fans. Football really is in our blood. It's part of our DNA. It's what makes us who we are as a country and as fans and as a nation of really epic supporters. So having gone through season one last year, we were really impressed with the amount of feedback we got and the passion of the supporters. And as Dr. Koza always says, without fans, football is nothing. So we really wanted to step up and we wanted to give something back to the fans. And to do that in a meaningful way, we came up with this campaign, Sibonise and Win. Like you said, I think it's really quite simple and it's mechanic, but at the same time, we wanted to just make sure we were encouraging people to keep showing up for their team, keep showing what they got, keep getting to the stadium. I suppose that's really what it's about, and to reward them for doing that.
And just the selection process, because we get inundated. I think yesterday when we had Reaction Monday, one of the fans, I'll play that clip for you in just a second, I wanted to ask a question or two regarding it. But how does the SuperSport, let's say the OB van, the team, identify that lucky fan?
Yeah, I think SuperSport was the one partner you didn't mention up front when you said it was a Betway and a PSL initiative. SuperSport very much a part of it because of that element. They are looking for somebody who really personifies support for their team and who's taken their support and their dress to the next level. So we love it that people come in their clothes and in their colours, but we're really looking for that person who's having a great time at the stadium, who's personifying what it means to get behind their team, to make the effort to get to the stadium and to have a great time there. So it is still up to the producer, and they do obviously have to make some very tough calls, because I think a huge amount of our fans are doing exactly this. But at the end of the day, somebody's got to make the call. So apologies, and I look forward to hearing the voice note. We've also been inundated with people saying, what else have we got to do to win? We've got great bonuses on Betway as a site as well for people who are actually betting on the league. But for people here in the stadium, you've got to get the attention of the people behind the camera.
You know what? I always say, Mark, as long as people are talking, they can be talking it down, talking it up. As long as people are talking, then half your job is done as a marketer.
Absolutely, Robert. I couldn't agree more with that.
Let me fire this one.
Hi, Mr. Marawa and the team. My Monday reaction is with regard to the new innovation that was introduced by both the PSL and Betway, where they reward fans who are dressed in a certain way. My question here, Mr. Marawa, why they don't reward fans based on the number of games which they attended or they have attended at the end of the season? Because it would benefit people like Bottom Sila, who attend almost every match. Because I recall in one of your interviews, Mr. Marawa, then when Mr. Bottom Sila used to say that he used to hike to attend matches. So I think this innovation could help such people. Thanks, David and Pargood.
Mark?
Am I allowed to say noted?
No, anything you want to say. All I'm saying is that I always say on the show that we are very transparent, and one of the beautiful things is that we don't look down on innovation. We really love it, and it gets people talking. But on the flip side of things, I know that there's been a counter argument to it to say that some of the recognized fans who have names attached to them, who've become so familiar and popular with us, to say that why should it always be about them? There are more fans than the individuals, especially the name that was given, which is Botha.
Absolutely, Robert. And I think with absolutely zero disrespect to those fans, I think they've done extremely well for themselves in terms of building those reputations, building their own brands as their super fan sort of status. And it was part of the consideration was how do we choose who we are rewarding? And the reality, I suppose, was we wanted to reward the everyday fan, if I can say that. There's a time and a place for everybody, but we really do want to make sure that the everyday fan who is turning up week after week and really making an effort is being rewarded by Betway. So that was the thinking behind the campaign. So far, we've, like you say, people are talking. We've certainly got a lot of positive sentiment out of the campaign so far, and it's been really well received. We managed, by some good luck and timing, to launch it on Women's Day weekend. So our first couple of winners were all women, and they just really were so over the moon. They were all dressed to the nines, looking amazing, supporting their team. And yeah, we can't wait for the rest of the season.
Yeah, remember the lady who was so finely dressed in that Siwelele game as well. I think she looked more surprised than anybody else. The lady next to her to explain to her what was going on, which is great. It's going to become part and parcel of Lise Kazini. It's running through the bloodstreams of every individual. I mentioned the doubling up of the prize money, though. Is that something real?
Yes, that's very much real, Robert. So far, we have given away nine prizes for the campaign so far, and of those 9, 5 winners have had Betway accounts. So those 5 winners have won 20,000 rand. The other 4, unfortunately, were not Betway account holders, but still walking away with 10,000 rand purely for getting to the stadium, dressing up, and having a great time. So I think everyone's getting well rewarded. Obviously, a little extra incentive for being a Betway customer. But yeah, I really like to think we're gonna make an impact across the season, and we're gonna have loads more winners.
And if we chat here, Mark, beyond just the Sponsor and Win campaign, I mean, what other fan-focused initiatives can we expect from Betway?
Yeah, I think this is really the focus of the campaign, Robert. And what we also liked about this was that it gave us an opportunity to interact with every club. I think anybody who's been involved with sponsorship in the PSL space before will know there's always pressure to say, what are you doing? How are you pitching up for all of the clubs and not just 2 or 3? So we're definitely going to be engaging more. We're going to be doing road shows with some of our Betway squad ambassadors. We're lucky to work with some of the best from previous years. And yeah, we're going to be going on road shows. We're going to be handing out tickets. We're going to be just having a great time and turning up across the country and really following the football. I suppose that's the beauty of the game, is that people love it so much. If their team's doing well, they're celebrating. If their team's doing well, they might be unhappy, but they're still engaged. So we've got a wonderful 10 months of football, and yeah, we hope to keep turning up across the country and across the entire season, across every different club.
All right, so I've got a couple of quick fire questions here from our listeners. You ready for that?
Sure.
It's a bit of fun though, Mark, so loosen up. You know how it is. You got to loosen up, but you got to give me one word. One word answers, otherwise you get disqualified. Which club supporters have shown the most colourful regalia so far?
Siwelele.
What's the highest amount a single fan has walked away with?
20,000 rand.
Which stadium has delivered the loudest fan moments?
Orlando Stadium.
And if Mark Rolls wasn't a Betway head of marketing, which PSL club would you most likely be standing in the crowd supporting?
I have to be impartial here, Robert. That's one I can't answer.
You want to try
I'm a
it again?
Durban boy. I was always Maritzburg United.
Always Maritzburg United. Hey, talking about a team that doesn't exist anymore.
Exactly.
Okay, pretty sharp on your side. Okay, we'll let you get away with it. Otherwise, you'll have, 15 other teams saying, yeah, we know you, Mark.
Get myself in trouble.
3 words to describe Sibonise Sand Win campaign.
Game-changing fun.
Which of those 3? One word.
Oh, one word. I'm going to change my word then. Excitement.
Love it. It has been an exciting start to the season. So well done to you. Well done to the team. Well done to the marketers. Well done to everybody in charge with the brand and everything else. We're seeing exciting things happen like we're going to be seeing them happen tonight as well. So well done. Look forward to chatting to you more, Mark.
Thank you so much for the time, Robert, and thanks for the involvement in the campaign. We're having a lot of fun with it, and I just want to keep asking the supporters to keep turning up, keep dressing up, and keep having the best time at the stadiums.
Let's remind people while you're there, it's Chipper United, Tears Galaxy tonight. It's Durban City playing against Golden Arrows. There's Kaizer Chiefs playing Richards Bay. Orbit College take on Sekhukhune United. There is Siwelele up against Polokwane. So a massive choice of football on tonight. It might not be a typical football night, but hey, with football, it pops up on any day. Mark, thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Appreciate the time.
Mark Rolls there joining us on the line in Johannesburg, Betway head of marketing. If you have anything to say regarding that, maybe you've been a winner, please share that with us.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live at the same time. #MSW.
Hey SA, entries for FlySafe's Business Booster are closing soon. So if you're a small local business that needs help taking off, enter at flysafe.co.za, tell us about your business, and you could be one of 6 standout enterprises to win 10 return business class flights plus brand exposure across our various platforms. Whether you're mixing, matching, crafting, or inventing, we want to help your business skyrocket. Fly Safe, for the love of fly. T's and C's apply.
Spar brings you super savings. Get Pampers Active Baby Nappies or Nappy Pants Value Pack assorted for $169.99. Save 80 Rand with Spar Rewards or 2 liters Spar Extra Shelf Life Full Cream or Low Fat Milk for $31.99. Save 6 Rand with Spar Rewards. Plus, you could win your share of 6 million Rand in instant cash. Price is valid until 24 August 2025 while stocks last. T's and C's apply.
Life is full of moments. Some are small.
Surprise, I got you a matcha latte.
Some are big.
Surprise, we're having twins.
For all those moments, there's the new Haval H6 SUV with a spacious interior and voice command. It's built for big moments. Get it from only $6,699 per month. Visit gwm.co.za for T's and C's and to book a test drive. GWM. Go with more. Brought to you by GWM Finance, a division of Westbank and authorized financial services and registered credit provider.
Unfold extraordinary with the brand new Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 5G 512 gig. Get it on a 6 gig Red Core plan from $1,749 per month over 36 months and double your storage with Vodacom, Zanzi's winning 5G network. Enhance your deal. Add $149 extra per month and get the Galaxy Watch 8 eSIM and Galaxy Buds 3. Available in-store and online. T's and C's apply. Further together. Vodacom.
Oh, Shane, do you have a sore throat? The Andalex range of lozenges offers 2 options. At the first signs of an irritated, scratchy throat, use Andalex lozenges for dual-action, soothing relief. But for a painful, inflamed throat, use Andalex C lozenges for triple-action, pain relief. Andalex, SA's #1 choice for a sore mouth and throat. Andalex lozenges are available at all leading pharmacies and supermarkets.
Just Andalex it.
Hi, I'm Dion Free. Winning requires audacity. That's why I joined African Bank and opened a 60-month fixed-term investment account. I'm scoring 12.8% interest at expiry on my investment. How cool is that? You too can join the bank that backs you to grow your money. Pop into a branch near you or visit africanbank.co.za. African Bank. Audacity to believe. African Bank is a licensed financial services and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Last week he told me he was going in for an op. He was going into theatre and he has since regained his sight. Good evening and a welcome to you, Tendai Ndoro.
I have regained 100% my sight. I couldn't see for the 3 weeks. I was blind, and right now I can tell you my operation went well. I can see, I can type, I can do everything. I'm now regaining my sight. Thank God for that.
Just sudden, you woke up one day, or was it through a period of time?
My sugar levels were very, 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 very high. And then I stayed in the hotel. In my last day when I was being checked out, that's where I lost sight completely. It just went blind without any complication, just patient, for me. And I can't believe I'm seeing again. It was bad, Mr. Ropa. I want to tell you, it was very, very, very bad.
Marawa Sports Worldwide, Monday to Friday weekdays.
Death, be not proud. Very, very sad to have lost one of the most prolific strikers that we've had in our league, in Tendai Ndoro. As a Bucks fan, fire made fire. And may his light continue to shine, even in the world beyond the one that we're currently in. Sending heartfelt condolences to his family. You've served us well, my soldier. Strength to your family.
Good evening, Mr. Marawa. Mr. Marawa, very disappointed for not seeing Bafana Bafana progressing to the next round. Chen. I think after the boys were leading by 3-1, everyone was hoping that they will make it, but those 2 late penalties determined by VAR, I think we sometimes like it, but I think Bafana yesterday were the victims of VAR. But I was very, very happy with their fighting spirit, because they were having an equal number of points to number 2, if I'm not mistaken. But number 2 was having a better goal difference, so they couldn't make it to the next round. And coming to the passing of Tendai Ndoro, may his soul rest in peace, Mr. Marawa. I think the last time I saw him, it was at Moses Mapida Stadium, Zimbabwe versus Benin, and we have a chat with him. He told me that he's willing to come back on the field of play this season, but I think God has other plans for him. Thank you, Mr. Marawa. Good choice already.
Spongaleni, thank you so much indeed. Thank you to everybody else that continues to send those messages of condolences. We'll play them if time does permit. But time does permit for us to focus on the Springboks right now. And that's why we're turning our attention to the green and gold. The mighty Springboks, who find themselves at a crossroads after that bruising 38-22 defeat to the Wallabies at Ellis Park Stadium. The knives, yes, they are out. The selection axe has been swung and Rassie Erasmus has rung the changes. And if you missed the news earlier on today in any of our bulletins, it's a total of 10 changes. As South Africa prepares now for that crunch showdown down in Cape Town, and with injuries to giants like Siya Kolisi as well as Peter Steph Toy, the Boks are going to be leaning on battle-hardened campaigners, making their return now to try and steady the ship against the Australians. And to help us unpack this dramatic chapter in Bok history is one of the sharpest rugby minds you'll find in the business, independence media rugby writer, and also the man behind the Fireside Springbok. It's Mike Greenaway. Mike, thank you so much for your time. Good evening and welcome to the show.
Good evening. Great to be here. And let's hope it goes better this week, but I'm sure it will, man. I look back at that game, and you know what really happened there, guys, is the Springboks were really seduced by their own brilliance. That 20 minutes, that opening 20 minutes at Ellis Park was amongst the best I've ever seen the Springboks play. I mean, their trials were simply sublime. And sometimes what happens, and in fact, the Wallabies coach, Joe Schmidt, said as much. He said, I've been in rugby a long time and I know what happened to the Springboks. Sometimes you start so well, and it's so easy, and it's just a pleasure playing that you forget to do the hard yards. And I think that's what happened. They got kind of try-happy and they lost their way. They forgot to keep their sleeves rolled up, keep going at the coal face, do all the hard work. And then it was like trying to hit sixes off every ball. And that then opened them up on holes in their defense. They kind of got a little bit reckless, a little bit irresponsible. They started throwing Hail Mary passes, 2 intercepts by the Wallabies. Off they go, and suddenly they're 14 points back in the game. Their tails go up. Our heads go a little bit down. But, yeah, look, once bitten, twice shy. I think it'll be a different story this week.
I mean, we remember the post-match press conference. I mean, he did say it's one of the worst moments that he's had to experience as a coach in his entire career here, Mike. He would not want to repeat that, would he?
No. And look, if you guys were watching on your TVs, as you would have been, so I was at the ground, and then the TV, I watched the replay. In that first 20 minutes, you know, Rassie had that sort of beatific look on his face, this look of like happy wonder. As he was smiling, watching, like all his plans had come together, all the hard work they'd done in all their training camps, it had come to fruition. And then you saw his face slowly turn. The smile turned to a grimace. And in the end, he looked completely shocked. It looked like a tragedy had befallen his family or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And no, look, Rassie, and he took it on the chin. He did say, look, you know, the buck stops with me and my coaching staff, because clearly we've got something wrong. You know what interested me? That last 20 minutes or so, there was a lot of Springboks walking around, hands on hips. They were puffing. And I just have a little wonder to myself, because they've been telling us this, that 3-week training camp, which was essentially a conditioning camp, and they absolutely got hammered by the conditioning staff. So I wonder if maybe their legs weren't quite there as well, because they looked tired. So maybe they should have tapered off their conditioning a bit sooner. But I think, and they will get that right in their preparation this week. They probably will be a bit lighter on their legs and make sure they're raring to go in Cape Town on Saturday.
All right, it looks like a certain gremlin has crept into the system there, Mike. I'm going to put you on hold, put you back to Tato, who'll make sure that your line is pretty clear. In the meantime, while we get that technical problem sorted out, let me quickly play out, though, Rassie Erasmus, as well as the reaction. This happened today because everybody kept thinking and saying that there's an 8th-man problem.
I don't think there's an 8th-man crisis. I mean, Jasper Wiese is just currently banned, so he'll be back. I think Sia was actually excellent. Sia scored a try. He sorted out the breakdown. You know, he was concussed with a not concussed, his knee went of unfortunate incident. And I thought Kwagga, when he came on 1 or 2 balls, that he still unfortunately was deemed to be off his feet, or the ball wasn't out, and I think Kwagga always brought an impact. So I don't think the 8th-man position lost us the game. We're not going to bring in somebody new. We believe the guys that we have here is doing the job for us, and it's difficult to keep the squad that big and give everybody game time. But I mean, JL, I think everybody has asked many times in the past, when is he going to get a proper chance? So it's his chance now, and hopefully that goes well. What was the first part of that question? Was that only that?
All right, we'll get to the second part of that question. Mike Greenaway is back on the line. Mike, let's shoot straight into it. Yeah, now 10 changes have been rung by Rassie Erasmus. What is he thinking right now? Because he feels that he needs the new blood, he needs a new approach, and has he made the right decision?
Yeah. So some very significant changes there. Okay, first of all, we know that 4 of the 10 are injury-related, but it's the ones that aren't injury-related that are significant. The experience that comes in at 10, I think, is probably the most significant selection. Andre Pollard, the man with ice in his veins. We know this. He's done it so many times. And look, Marnie Libbok at Ellis Park, sublime in that first 20 minutes, and then I think he's the game driver, he's the general, he's the man in charge.
the team marches to the fly halves drum beat, and I think he was, kind of got a little bit carried away. He needed to just slow things down, maybe play a bit of territory, maybe just sort of put the brakes on a bit. And so I think that's what Russie's looking for Hundred to do. It's just to bring a bit of calmness now to the way they play. And we know Hundred can do that. I mean, he is the most capped Springbok fly half we've ever had. And we know from his World Cup heroics that he's a calm general. So that is a very significant change. And my understanding from what Rassie said last week is that he was actually going to give Sasha Feinberg and Ngomazulu a run there. But I think he's just thought, wow, after what happened in Joburg, let me bring in Andre. Let's just have a calm hand on the tiller. And let's get back to some basics. Similarly, he's brought in Willie Leroux at fullback. Same thing. A guy who's been there, done that over 100 times now. So I think those are two very significant changes in your spine of your back line. You've brought back Willie, you've brought back Andre. Obviously, Damien Dallander also back there too, and that was planned. He had a little bit of a niggle and couldn't start last week, which is why Andre Esterhuizen had a go, and played quite well actually. So Damien, another very experienced Springbok back, and partnering with Jesse. I mean, those two guys have played 38 times as a centre pairing. So suddenly that back line now looks very experienced. It looks like they know, they've done it all before. They know what they're doing. Look in the pack. Look, Rassie's hand forced a little bit there, and a little bit of a concern about what happened in Joburg was that the Wallabies just cleaned up the Springboks at the breakdowns. They just dominated the rucks. That guy, Fraser McRate, who was the player of the match, was just superb. Look, the Boks did quite well until they got injuries. Sia Khaleesi is very strong over the ball. He's picked up a knee injury, out for 4 to 6 weeks. Is a worry because they're going to New Zealand fairly soon. And Peter Steph du Toit, similarly, also, he's picked up a concussion, so that's 2, possibly 3 weeks. But those are two massive players that they lost, and they didn't quite have the ammunition in the bomb squad to rectify that. And that was one of the reasons why Australia got so on top in the second half. They just ruled the rucks. What are we going to do this week? Quite a big opportunity there for Jean-Luc Dupree. South Africans haven't seen much of him for a long time since he left the Sharks, but he's been in excellent form for another Sharks, the Sale Sharks of Manchester. So he comes in. Obviously there is a little bit of a gap there at 8 with Jasper Wiese being suspended. Now we've got Sia out injured, obviously started there. So a massive opportunity for Jean-Luc Dupree to show what he can do. Marco van Staden is the only one of that loose trio from last week who remains. And the old warhorse Franco Mostert, he's come in. Let's see what he can do. He hasn't had a starting opportunity for a very long time. Looking at that second row, I have never seen that combination start for the Springboks. We're talking about Rowan Nortje in the number 5 jersey and Achia Snyman at number 4. Achia obviously is normally a principal member of the bomb squad, a very rare start for him. So those two guys, I'm pretty sure, have never started as a combination for the Springboks, but there they are. And then the insurances on the bench in Eben Etzebeth and Loet de Jager. So that's going to ensure that whatever happens, the Springboks finish strongly in the tight phases. When you've got Eben and Loet coming on, that's serious insurance. Also, we've gone back to that 6-2 split. So we've got a full front row coming on again. Wilco Lowe, the powerhouse for the Bulls, he's there. newcomers, the hooker Manus van der Merwe, who's played so well for the Scarlets, the Welsh team in the URC, and Bowen Fenter, the Edinburgh prop. So those are the up-and-comers that Rusty's been blooding. But yeah, we're back to 6-2, and that means the Boks are going to finish strongly.
Yeah, I mean, very comprehensive there. That 6-2 is an important one, and I think for those who are wondering which 5 survived, it is Oxenjed, Prop, also Malcolm Marks at hooker. You mentioned Marco van Staden at flank, also Grant Williams at scrum half, and also Jesse Creel, who now comes in as the captain. But the good news, I believe you're going to be this way in Johannesburg next week, Mike.
Yeah, looking forward to catching up with the team.
Looking forward to it. And who's taking it down in Cape Town, and by how much?
Oh, man, it's got to look. I mean, these guys are just so good, the Springboks. They're too good. That was an anomaly. That was a slip-up. I am convinced a correctly focused, totally motivated, much chastised Springbok team is going to come out of the blocks like they did in Joburg and keep going right to the finish line. I can only see one winner. That will be South Africa, and I'm saying at least 12 points, probably more.
Oh, I love that. Independent media rugby writer and also author of a book on Springbok history, The Fireside Springbok. Mike Greenaway, as always, thank you so much. I'll see you next week.
Lovely. Cheers, guys.
All right, I appreciate it. I also appreciate the fact that he's brought us more hope and giving a convincing win there for the Springboks. And as we get to the room dividers underway as well next week, Tuesday, thank you all for all the messages and also for your participation here on #MSW. It's been Marawa Sports Worldwide, proudly brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
The thrill, the drama, the action. Let the game begin. Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets. #MSW. Live now on 947, Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live. At the same time.